If you want to live in the city, you often have to compromise on space, but can you imagine renting an apartment that's only around 2 metres wide and 3 metres long? So we're talking about as big as this couch here. Can you believe that?
It's the length of me.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, that was the reality for one New Yorker. Here's a bit of a tour of her palace.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some compromises, but it's worth it. It's 90 square feet. So when I first moved in, the woman who was here before had just furniture. You could barely, there was a strip of blank space down the center of the room. But I just got rid of everything, and I knew you had to go up when you organize in New York City. So that's what I did. And I wanted a space because this is where I write, and this is where I do my art, my place to hang out and read. There's no kitchen, but I've created my own little kitchen, little fridge. So I have to food shop a few times a week. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, this is easy. And when I actually went up to bed and I woke up in the middle of the night and there was the ceiling and I had a friend stay over because I thought I would fall out of the bed. When I woke up, there was the ceiling here and the wall on every side. And I wanted to get out quickly. And she was saying, relax, go slowly because you're going to fall. And so then I had installed a handle on the side and a hook. And then after that night, I have not had another panic attack, and I love it up here.
Does anyone else feel a bit claustrophobic?
Yeah, very.
At that? Felice Cohen lived there for 5 years, and now she has written a book on how to live in small spaces. Please welcome her live from New York. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Now, Felice, it's been said that if basketballer Michael Jordan stood up and stretched out his arms, he could touch either side of your apartment.
Yeah, it was only 7.5 feet wide.
How on earth did you put up with living in a space so small for all those years?
Well, I never really thought of it as putting up with it. For me, I moved into that space so that I could finish writing my first book. And that was my focus. And if I ever, thought the space is too small, I would remind myself of that focus. And it really had everything I needed. And I was right in the center of New York City. So it had everything I wanted.
Felice, looking at it, it was very organised, very neat and tidy. Have you always been a neat and tidy person, or did living in that tiny space make you that way?
Well, I'm also a professional organizer, so yes, I've always been neat and organized. But this was really the ultimate challenge, and before I moved in, I ended up putting 77 boxes of stuff into storage. And every year that went by, I would go back to storage and I would get rid of stuff. And by the end of the 5 years, I got rid of all of it. And you just realize how much stuff you really don't need.
I understand that. But tell me, how much would you pay for an apartment like that?
Well, I was lucky. I paid $700.
A month?
In that neighborhood, the average rent is about $2,600. So it was a great bargain.
And just talk us through the logistics of it. So you've got a bed that's it looks like only about 1.5 feet from the ceiling. And does it have a bathroom?
It did. It's in the video. It does have a bathroom. It had a full bathtub.
What?
But the toilet was a little narrow. You had to kind of adjust your knees, and it had a little airplane sink.
Well,
It took a little getting used to, but,
And what happens when you invite people over? Like if you have a party, do you just invite one person?
Yeah, you had small parties. At one point I had brunch with my whole family over, and at the time, my nephew was a little baby, so we put him in his carry case in the tub. But, I didn't have that many parties. But that's one thing I missed. But I did have a couple friends over, and it was cozy.
One person's bathroom is another person's
Charming.
second bedroom, so,
Right. Right, in New York.
And you eventually had to move out, and now you're living in a larger place, which is maybe, 2 by 3.5 metres?
Yeah, it's 5 times larger, actually. It's under 500 square feet. But I have taken the concept of living smaller with me, with less stuff.
And I really like that idea because I think, as we grow older and move, we take a lot of stuff with us. Is that kind of your main philosophy, to simplify and streamline your life?
It really is. I think as we get older, and I think we've changed our society, we're not about buying all the time the bigger homes and a lot of stuff. we want more experiences. And I think that's why this tiny home movement is really spreading across the world, because people don't want to be strapped to a hard mortgage or paying off a lot of stuff. We don't even really use it or wear it. So that's really my philosophy now.
It is a great philosophy. I must say, I love my stuff. and I am trying, though, to downsize. What advice would you have for someone, apart from moving into a weenie apartment, how can we live smaller?
Well, I think you really have to be ruthless when you're shopping. That's really the first line of defense. And you think, do I really need this? Am I really going to use it or wear it? And then when we go through our stuff, we all say, well, we have so much stuff, but we don't use it or wear it. And I think instead of saying, what don't I want, say, what do I really love? And think about people who can maybe benefit from what you have and donate it.
It's interesting, there's The Art of Tidying, which is a brilliant author, and she says, throw out anything that doesn't bring you joy, which is a really good philosophy because we are tied to so much.
I know. If that was the case, my wife would throw at me. So.
Felice's book, 90 Lessons for Living Large in 90 Square Feet, is available now in both book and e-book. Felice, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. What a great story.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for having me.